Alrighty, hello, SrGrafo here, and you probably joined this server looking for some game dev stuff, but you're not understanding what you're seeing. I'm making this video to kind of explain you what we're working on here and what can you expect from this project, you know, the ins and outs. So first of all, this is insanely super early access, early alpha, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry for my English, it's not my main language. So by early alpha, it means that we started like a year and a half ago. This is going to be the second year of development, and you can still do only pretty basic stuff. What you're looking here is the world. We have a working world. You can walk in the world, you can see things. The game actually runs in 60 FPS, but I have chopped FPS because I'm recording, and also I'm using Chrome. And yes, you can play this game on Chrome. Actually, the game runs on browser. That means that you can just put the link and you're in. No installation, no downloading, not anything. You can jump in the game immediately. So there's a couple of pros and cons with that. Pros is that if you're using a decent explorer like, you know, Chrome, Firefox, Safari, or even Opera, you're gonna be completely fine. But if you're using Explorer, then you're not gonna be able to play properly this game. So as you can hear, which is probably the first thing you did, the game has custom sounds. That's a thing we have been working for a while. That means that every single person you're seeing here is actually hearing in custom sounds. From that bird, from the grass, from the wind, everything is custom per user, and that depends on where they are standing, at what time of the day, and what in which biome, and what we want in which scenario. So we have a day cycle. Over here you have a clock on the top left, which is divided in day. This, and this are the daytime. And there is nighttime, which is this one, this, and this, the bottom half. So while you're in the daytime, there's a couple noticeable differences. One of them is that everything's clear, you have bigger vision, you can see further. I can see up to this point because of the light. And the brighter it gets, I can see them more. And even the altitude is something that we're considering it. So the higher you go, your vision expands. So you can see even more terrain, as you can see over here. So that's one of the perks of the daytime. And the nighttime has also some perks. One of them is that, well, you can see less at night, but you can hear more. So the hearing system is something they're taking really seriously. That means that you can only see things based on what you hear. I mean, hear things based on your distance to those. For example, there is water over here, so if you get close to the water, you should be able to hear it. I think I saw fire over there. The closer you get to the fire, the louder it gets. By the way, all the people you're seeing here is actually the testers that got a key to, you know, check it out while we're working on. And these are actually offline. So you're probably wondering why the sorry, I'm not cursing. Why are they still here? One of the things we're working on, it's the game is slightly directed roguelite with immersion and some roleplay aspects. That means that you're not going to be able to log out. At the moment they can, but later you shouldn't be able to log out, meaning that if you log out, your character is going to be just standing there and then he's going to pass out in the middle of the ground or the street or whatever you were. And people could steal your things and things like that. So you better, you know, go to a place to sleep, make a tent, or go to a pub, etc, etc. Okay, so there is a lot of cover, but you probably can check it on whenever you're here. The couple of things I can tell you is that in this project, everything is customizable. Sorry. And you're probably thinking like, yeah, every game does that. Yeah, no. Everything, absolutely everything is customizable. The terrain, the clothing, your face, the weapons, the tools, the items you find. For example, let me show you. Let's cover the terrain, which is the most simple one. As you can see, every user is going to have these tools. You can create terrain just like a Minecraft style. You can take blocks, put blocks. You can put the decorations on the blocks, on the side of the blocks, or even the vegetations, the plants, the lamps. Everything is here. At the moment we don't have that many items because we're focusing on functionality first. And the items, all of these. So terrain is completely customizable. Then you have, for example, your portrait, which you can change all of those categories that you're seeing here. You can change the hair you have. Let's go with this. You can change the eyes. Let's go with something more serious. There you go. Let's go less smiley. This one should do. There you go. You can also change the colors. I mean, I'm keeping blonde because the character is blonde, but basically everything is customizable. You see this color palette here? This is also customizable per user. Every user is gonna have its own color palette. You don't like this kind of template? Doesn't matter. The race is customizable, the angle. At the moment we have 3. You can just change for something more younger, something more manly, etc, etc. Let me go with that one. Your clothing is also customizable, and it's divided in several parts. Your interiors, horns, the hair is divided in 3 parts, everything colorable. You have the t-shirt, pants, extra t-shirt, extra pants, boots, gloves, etc, 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 even masks. So as you can see, all of these people over here, they have like 3 options, but it gets more unique since every single one can customize every single little detail of the avatars. And also, as you can hear, the music is more cheerful, is more alive. This is because we're in daytime. Once we get nighttime, then it gets more chill, more relaxing. Unless you're in combat, then it gets aggressive. So also you can see the sun over here. It's disappearing little by little. And soon, as we arrive to the nighttime, there's gonna be filled with stars all over. And with the nighttime, it comes less vision and more hearing, and everything gets darker and grayer, less alive. So you can pick which style you like to play the game. You can pick it like more, I like to do things in the day, I like to do things in the night, I like to do a little bit of both too. You can always customize these settings over here. We're gonna add more settings. What you're seeing is stupidly insanely alpha, so we're still working out, you know, the very basics. And night arrived, cut that happy song, let's put something more chill, cut the lights, and there's the stars appearing. So as you can see, we're really paying attention to all of these details because immersion is really important for us. So we're polishing and polishing and polishing every single part, like the grass, the plants over here that you're seeing. Let me show you. We can change the season, for example. Let's go to summer. In summer, all these flowers are gone, little by little, of course, because you gotta be subtle. Then it gets more green, it gets more like grassy, I think that's the word. And it changes little by little, so a user shouldn't be like noticing immediately. Everything in the game has a stat connected to it, absolutely everything. So your vision has a stat, your hearing has a stat, your movement has a stat. How much can you move? How much can you do? All of these details, and everything is going to be customizable. Like, for example, before I jump into the next thing, you can also customize your weapons, your tools. Let's say you want to create swords, you want to create bows, you can do it. It's exactly like you customize your profile picture. You can pick which kind of blade you want. Okay, that's a little too big, something more sharpy. Oh yeah, I really like this one. And then let's say I want other color. Let's go with some orange or maybe some red. There you go, that's pretty cool. So just like that, you can customize and create weapons. Tons of designs. Who knows, maybe you want to open a store to sell bows or just weapons or spears. We're creating an engine where we can add tools and you as a player can do whatever you want with it. So my daily job is make sure that there is more blades coming constantly. And your side is play with them. Check what things you can do. It's the same with tools. For example, we added fishing rods and baskets. And if you equip the tools, you can do things with nature. For example, you can forage, and it gives you every single object in the world, every single tile, every single plant. It gives you something different. And multiple troops, sorry. So some of them are common, some of them are rare, Let me get this plant over here. There you go. Everything goes to your inventory. Let me show you your inventory. It's over here. Inventory, you know, this side on the left side, we're going with the basics, you know, like most RPGs. You have like helmets, shields, boots, legs, you know the classics. Here's your inventory. For everything you do, everything you get is a stack. The items, how it's divided. You can explore this in your free time. Here's your builder, where you did the terrain. Alright, let me close this. As you can notice, nighttime, less vision. I have more hearing. But I can still see things pretty clear, and it's because the light sources. Let me show you. I'm gonna remove some light sources. I'm gonna kill this one. I'm gonna kill this one. I'm gonna kill this one. And there you go. I can no longer see what's going on there, even if I kill this one. But the benefit is that in nighttime you can start focusing on your hearing, because your hearing increases as the night goes, and you can see things that you cannot see, so they appear in the map with the little bell. Of course, hearing is a stat that you can increase and modify. And now talking about the stats, you're probably thinking like, okay, this looks like kind of an RPG. So RPGs, you have, you know, knights, healers, and you know, the map jumbo, the usual. Yeah, we don't have any of that shit. Absolutely nothing. And we're not gonna have a single job, a single class, a single, you know, a skill or ability, nothing. All of that is gonna be customizable. What is the meaning of that? That you are gonna be able to, let's say, okay, let's say something basic. Let's say you want to be a healer. Alright, what weapon do you want to use for killing, or what tool? Let's say you want to use a book, a staff, an orb, I don't know, whatever Gandalf uses. So you can craft that with the editor. Then with the skill editor, you can select that, okay, I want to create a new ability, and you can craft the ability. You can pick the effects and everything for the ability, and then you can name it. Let's say, for coincidence, or for fuck's sake, you call it, this is a cleric, and we're gonna call that knowledge. So you just added knowledge to the world, and let's say you have a friend. Let's say this guy over here is my friend, and I can teach him, I can teach him how to do the things that I created. And we can start using those things, team up with other people and travel in the world to experiment with different things. Then we arrive to a town when there's other people that they have developed other kind of skills. So that's what we are calling knowledge. And some knowledge is going to be like forgotten if nobody uses it. Some knowledge is going to be like destroyed if somebody just kills every single person that does certain things. So I don't know. This is something we're really excited to see what people is going to come up with. Because we're seeing what people is already doing just with basic clothing. We cannot imagine what they're going to do when they can actually, you know, create and build things and towns and things like that. So, alright, I think this covers most of what is this project about. It's mostly customization. It's more than a game, it's an engine. An engine that we want to give, like, have the users maximum control. Now, a couple of questions that you're probably wondering right now. Is this free to play? No, we're gonna charge monthly. Of course not. It's free to play. It's gonna be absolutely free. But let's be clear, let's be honest about that. When I say it's free to play, the first thing that comes to your mind is like, alright, free to play, that means advertisements, that means I'm gonna have a battle pass, or I'm gonna have like waiting times like Clash of Clans or that shit. None of that shit. This game is gonna be free to play, but actual free. You're not gonna have to spend a single dime to play this game, and you're gonna have the same access to every single other player. Free to play and be able to play it anywhere, even in the bathroom. And now you're thinking, alright, that sounds nice, but how are you funding it? Well, I'm funding it with my own money, and I'm gonna spend that money for marketing. Don't worry, everything is gonna be covered so that people can actually have a free to play game. No more of that bullshit of free to play games that they are not free. So that's when it comes to cost. How are you going to access it? It's going to be open for everyone. Everyone is going to be able to play. Oh, let's say you don't want to play with everyone. You don't like multiplayer games. You don't want to mess around with this guy over here. All right, we're thinking about having personal servers where people is going to be able to create their own servers. So you can have like, you know, your 3 friends in the world, and that's it. No more people. Or you decide who to invite. So even that aspect needs to be customizable. We're still working on it, we're still polishing it. Like, I know it's been like some months of development, but sometimes we're just, alright, you know what? Let's make every tile sound different when you walk on it. Let's make every grass sound different when you walk on it. So we're polishing and polishing and polishing everything. We're soon gonna reach the combat phase, which is gonna be like hopefully this month, or if not the next one. And I mean, what I'm trying to say is that if you join now, be ready for what's the meaning of alpha, meaning that you can walk, you can customize certain things here and there, but you cannot really do much gameplay related. Oh, if you're wondering, yes, you can chat in the game. All of the online, you know, perks and things, it's already built on. So I think that covers most of what's RpVoid, what's this project, and probably a couple of questions that you're thinking, and I can come up with. Okay, so you're probably thinking, is this like full RP, or is this like PvP, or is this like PvE? The answer is all of them. So we're dividing the game in 3 sides. On one side is going to be people that, you know, they just want to Stardew Valley vibe things. They just want to make a farm, they just want to chill, they just want to create a pub and see other players come in, sell drinks, chill, chat, you know, have RP, have some immersion fun. We're going to go in that direction. But we're also going to have a direction, probably zones divided, where people can actually go PvP or PvE. And if you're thinking about the PvP, we're probably thinking something slightly severe. Nothing is set in stone, nothing is made yet. We're just thinking about it, how it's going to approach. So I think that covers most of the questions that we receive about the game. If you're wondering about controls, this is used in... Currently I'm using a keyboard. You're going to be able to use a joystick. And of course, if you can use a mobile device, it already have input controls for that too. About the lag, okay, so if you have lag, if you don't have the best internet connection, I can tell you, don't worry about it, because since the combat is turn-based, I have a shitty ass internet connection, a shitty ass, you cannot imagine, and I can play perfectly fine. As long as I can play, I don't mind. So if you have a slightly decent connection, better than mine, you're already set, goal. And because it's a turn-based game, you don't really need to be like synced perfectly all the time and milliseconds is going to define if you lose or that. No, absolutely not. None of that shit. If you have a decent connection, you're good to go. Trying to think if there's other thing people usually ask me. Let me think about it. No, I think that covers all. If you have any questions, you can always in the Discord server, in the channel for RpVoid Talk, you can ask questions there. If you just want to check how is the game, just send me a private message being like, hey, I want to check the game, give me a key, and I'm gonna get your key, unless we're fixing something, but I'm gonna give you a key, you're gonna be able to register, check the game, you know, anytime, log in anytime. Oh, before I leave, since it's gonna be morning anytime soon, let me show you how vegetation reacts to things, because it's pretty fun. So we're in summer, we're gonna go to fall, because I like fall. We're going to increase my vision temporarily. Let's say 5. As you can see, everything is going to start getting orangey because it's fall. I like those tones. You can see here the altitude. Oh, that's it. Probably you're wondering how big is this world. So the world, we don't know. We don't know how big it's going to be, but we know how big a map in the world is going to be. What you're seeing right now, let me get full vision. There you go. So it looks kind of like a square. There's some dark zones because there's no light on those zones. What you're seeing right now, it's a map. It's what we call a map in the void. This is usually 20 by 20. And we want these size because this is the size of a good map, battle map. For fighting, this is perfect. So look, everything's getting orangey, fall, it's morning, goodbye stars, and the sun should be start appearing on the right side. So we don't know how big is the world, but I can tell you the maps are going to be 20 by 20. And if you're wondering how tall a map is going to be, we can go up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tiles of altitude. And you're probably thinking, oh, but I want to go underground or I want to go above. Well, this is a map on the world. we can have another map that represents what's underground this map. So don't worry, you're gonna be able to do that. Just know the technicalities that this map is gonna be like 20 by 20 size and 10 altitude, which is gonna come with, you know, the different biomes. Let me get some fancy rain. So that's it. We have a weather cycle working, and we have also, as you can see, the seasons. Oh, it gets everything wet. So we have, this is not implemented yet, but this is what we're working on. So the world is gonna be come with biomes. Of course it has to come with biomes. Every biome is gonna have its own plants, its own vegetation, its own items, its own creatures. As you can see, there's some butterflies here, there's some birds here, and there's some fireflies here. So every biome comes with its own sounds, own creatures, own tiles. Everything gotta be unique. So when you're playing the game, you can pick like, I like that biome, I'm gonna go live there. And also with its own temperature, which is shown here. This is not implemented yet. If you see it in the game, this is just a placeholder. So let's clean that rain for a bit. As you can see, the stars are gone. And the sun starts coming up. The light starts to start coming up stronger, because your vision gets stronger in the daytime. I didn't even notice, but you already spent a day in the void, which is like 25 minutes. You spend 25 minutes in a day in the void. Let's get some snow so you can see that. And you're probably wondering, what the fuck is with all the people standing there? These people is offline. Because these are the alpha testers, people that request the keys and go inside the void, test the things, and then turn it off the void. But you're never gonna be able to log out of the void. And you're probably thinking, why the fuck would somebody do that? And the reason is because we're working on immersion. If you're standing, you just should pass out. You need to find a bed. You need to craft a bed or a tent like here, like this guy over here. Oh, it's even cool. Look, he picked the same colors as his. Oh yeah, so you see these tents over here, like this one or this big one. Everything's fucking customizable. I say I wouldn't curse, but I get excited when things are customizable. I'm sorry. Also, it's my fucking video. So the goal is really to make that the user has control of how do they want to create the world. The user has absolute control of everything. We also have some plans for people that like D&D, for example, Dungeons and Dragons, campaigns and that sort of things, that we release some kind of creative game. So maybe they can customize however they want the campaign to be, invite their friends, they can play it however they want it. Or maybe some people just wanna, you know, have a roleplay farming experience and chill all day. Here over here is Father Stump. This is the guy doing the code. I am doing all the art. If you see it, I did it. If it's working, he did it. We're the guys working in RpVoid. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me a message. I love talking about this. And that should be all for now. Thank you for watching.